Hi, this is Kalia from Crafting on the Fly, and today I'm going to show you how to make this cactus wall hanging. So first you need macrame cord, and you need to cut two pieces. It's best to tie a little tape around it so that they don't fray right in the beginning. So the inner piece will be about 12 inches long, and then the outside should be 21 inches. So you get your two pieces. And you can see it's like the outside is longer because it needs the two hands or arms, I don't know what those are, for the cactus on each side. So I tied it about this. So this cactus altogether is about 7 inches long. If you want it longer, then you have to do what I did and just kind of figure out how long that second piece should be. And don't forget those arms. The masking tape really works best to keep it nice and tight there. Once you have that, you're gonna just fold it up and make a mark about 3 inches from the bottom so that you know where to start and also end your embroidery yarn wrapping. And take your first color, use this dark green embroidery yarn, and just put the end towards the area where you're going to wrap around, and then just keep wrapping around the end, and this way you get it, you have to start nice and tight without having to put any knots. And then just keep wrapping and wrapping and wrapping around. You can use different colors, several different colors. I used all this dark green for the one in the center, but you obviously can go crazy. You can make it rainbow, anything you like. So once you wrapped it around to the other side, so that's the same length, use a needle, and you can adjust all these little bits later where the cord comes through. But just use a needle and combine the two sides. Use the ends of the embroidery yarn, and then it's a good thing to have some pliers to really pull that through, because it's getting really hard to pull otherwise. So then just keep going at the diagonally there, so that you can just keep going back and forth, zigzagging all the way to the top. And like I said, it's really tough to pull this through sometimes. So get a thin needle, you don't have to push as much, or maybe also one side at a time. So there you go. Use some smaller or thinner yarn just to do the rest, and then you can cut off all the ends at the end. You can also push from one side, careful not to get yourself with that needle, and then pull from the other side. And back and forth, just nice and tight, so that you have the center pressed together. So now I'm at the top and get it all nice. Now you can work on that second row. See again where it's best to make a little mark, a little higher, I think. Yeah, to start with the wrapping. And then comes the arm. So this, I used a lighter green for this one, and also did the same type of wrapping as before. So you have to wrap all the way to where that arm starts. So I think this is long enough. I'll put in the arm, and for that we need some wire. 16 gauge wire is best. I use this stainless steel wire, but any type of wire is good. But stainless steel is great because it's really hard, so it won't bend back on you. Also need some pliers and just shape it a bit into that arm shape, and leave some also on both sides so that you can direct where the arm goes, so that it really goes upward. So that's it, that's good for this one. Yeah. Now I have to add it onto, sort of like into the back of the cord, and then, so what I did was like push it in between the layers there of the cord. That makes it easier, and then just wrap around with that embroidery yarn right over the cord and the wire. And you can see, like in the back sometimes you see it, but you just keep all the way around. And on the other side, and you can make it a little bit looser. You can always, since it's the wire, you can shape it afterwards once you have all the embroidery yarn around it. And then do the same with the end, just like twist a little bit open and then close again so that it's hidden in there and won't poke out. So then once you get to the top, you need a little hanger to add, and I used some smaller yarn. I think it was also a macrame yarn, or any bits that you have left over, maybe even the embroidery yarn if you want to stay with the same color. Make a little knot in a loop. And then you can hold it onto the top there and keep a little, like, you know, 1/2 inch on both sides or 1/4 inch, so that you can wrap the embroidery yarn around it so that it also catches it, and then it's just part of it. So just go all the way, you know, close to the knot there. And then pass over to the other side. And this way you're gonna have a nice hanger. And then to change color, you just hold the end of both ends of the old one and the new color together, and then just go over both of those with that new yarn. It's amazing if you just go over everything, how you can catch the ends and no one will ever know what's inside. So then you just change the color. Keep going with that. And then see where the second arm is. Should be a little bit lower than that first one, or the other way around, whatever you like better. And then shape another piece of wire. And my wire was initially like 6 inches long, maybe 7. And then did the same thing again, twist it in between there. Wiggle it in. And then just wrap all around. I'm gonna add one more section with a different color here. I'm almost at the end. And just went back to that first color on that second layer. And then also open it a bit so that you can hide the end of the wire in there. And then you have to just combine them all. So use a needle to put into the end of your embroidery yarn, and then line them all up. And then also just going back and forth until they're combined. And now you have a lot more layers you have to go through. So first I went, or tried to at least go through, I had this go through the middle layer. There. And like I said, you really need those pliers. And pull that tight. And then go through the outer layer. So I got that. And then start, going sideways a bit. Try to go through all 3 layers sideways to get to that second arm there, or the first arm, depending. There. And like that, and then I just went up to get that arm closer together. And I went back down and up again, because otherwise it just wouldn't stay nice and tight. There. Okay, this side, and now again across. And then again diagonally, whatever, up there again, so that we can cover some ground here. Zigzag up. And then across to the other side there. So you can do the same on the other arm. And this arm again, just up. And then because it's the wire, you can push it together nicely, and then also a little bit upwards afterwards. See how, yeah. And back down. And up once more. And then again across. sideways up. Okay, and then once you're finished, you can undo the tape on the bottom. And then untwine the individual strands there, just so that you get that nice little fluff on the bottom. So there's first those big ones, and then there's each individual strand there that you can get, and in the end you can just comb it out so that you get the nice little fluff. And you can also like use some water so that they're actually going to be straight, since they're still a little wavy from being wound up so tightly. And then you can just cut across so that it's nice and straight. And that's it. There's your cactus wall hanging.